Creatures of the Fae are those that hail from the Feywild, a parallel plane to that of the prime material that Faerun is situated within. It's considered to be an echo of the prime and is home to unusually potent arcane magic. The geography of the Feywild is almost identical to the prime, as are its creatures. However, the Feywild is one overgrown with unchecked magic and nature running freely. Hence the Feywild is home to more magically gifted inhabitants. It is believed that the elves originated here in the form of Eladrin, though this is up for debate. The most powerful of creatures in the Feywild are known as the Archfey, beings with near godlike powers that established a preeminence among the Faekind. Each have their own unique look, power, and control a portion of the Feywild, each getting themselves a title too. Some of the Archfey are awakened spirits of natural places, such as a river, others incarnations of sentient animals. Some are even noble Eladrin, so old and powerful that they transcended morality. The Archfey are considered as deities and granted divine powers to their worshippers. They could even be worshipped as a warlock's patron. In this video, we will cover two specific Archfey, that being the Queen of Air and Darkness and her sister, Queen Titania. The Queen of Air and Darkness, or Quad, has no physical form and only her presence can be felt. However, if one uses magic to reveal her form, she would appear as a beautiful but terrifying female Faerie with angular features, skin as white as bone, and coal-black eyes with long dark hair. She is the Marshal of the Unseelie Court, a divine realm and a group that is the mirror opposite of the Seelie Court. More on them later. This Unseelie Court was a place of hatred, enslavement, and death, located in a tremendous cavern of black stone stalagmites and stalactites. The court is centered around a large mountain-sized stalagmite, upon which the Queen's black onyx throne stood, resting atop of it a huge black diamond. This black diamond is the tragic origin of Quad's evil. Once, Quad was the sister of Queen Titania, known as the Summer Queen and the Queen of Light. But one day, a group of dwarves approached Quad after a mining expedition and brought a huge, 10-faceted black diamond as a gift. The gift was intended for Queen Titania, but she was away swimming that day. Her sister, Quad, accepted it instead. It corrupted her slowly and transformed her. It was not long until she had stole away the diamond and other magical treasures, then riding away on a chariot made of smoke and fire that appeared from the sky. Sometime later, the mountain the dwarves were mining exploded, killing them all and filling the land with a sickening black smoke. Now, ruling over the Unseelie Court, she twists her domain of the Fae around her, be it flora or fauna. Trees grow in unnatural shapes, creating shadows that hide blood-soaked alcoves. Nightshade and bloodwort plants glow to produce a deathly red light. The throne of her court, the shape of a great dragon. A notable group amongst their subjects are the Dark Hunt. This group of the most skilled hunters of the Unseelie were sent on missions to fetch various things or creatures for the Queen's entertainment. Although this job was majority composed of Fae, an extremely skilled non-Fae were at times permitted to join in the hunts. Now her sister, Queen Titania, is the mirror opposite of Quad, just as their realms are. Often called the Summer Queen, she is possibly the mightiest of the Archfey and leads the Seelie Court. She appears as an Eladrin of immense beauty, with honey-coloured skin and hair of shimmering autumn leaves. Her eyes were said to glow like a sun. Her avatar would appear as a small gossamer-winged Faerie with flawless pale skin and grey-blue eyes. At times the Queen was considered to be flighty and frivolous, but in truth she was a brilliant strategist in both the battlefield of politics and warfare. She had a dry sense of humour and was extremely pragmatic when required. She was extremely hard to make angry but held no mercy to those that invoked her ire. She was very amused by mortals and was known to take selected few as lovers. Her powers ranged from causing the wilderness around her to ripen and grow, her very frown said to be able to trigger wildfires, and her gaze capable of turning a mortal mad. She was host to an extremely powerful source of magic, and carried a diamond-tipped wand as a staff of power. It surrounded her with a field of magical circle against evil, and could create and purify food at a whim. She enjoys watching over her subject Fae beings such as dryads, satyrs, unicorns, and pixies. She desires that all creatures could live in utter joy. She is never one to miss a Seelie Court, and was always present as herself or her avatar. The Seelie Court, her realm, much like the Unseelie, was not tied to any specific place, and instead wandered from plane to plane. The Seelie Court was considered to be one of the most beautiful places in existence, where the water tastes like wine and time flowed in strange ways. Her throne room was overflowing with flowers, fountains, and fine silk. Faeries flitter all around it, and mortal bards and playwrights often perform for her. Her throne, in parallel to her sister's, is shaped like a dragon, this one made from ice. It is said it would come to life and defend the Queen if required. The Unseelie Court was split into two groups, the Inner and Outer Circle. The Inner Circle was a close group of 6 deities. Queen Titania herself, Oberon, Lord of Beasts, Hirsam, Prince of Fools, Ektian, Lord of Unicorns and Pegasi, Skelai, Court Gesture, and Veronestra, Goddess of Nymphs and Dryads, and Tatiana's daughter. Besides the Queen, the other members of the Inner Court were typically chaotic, but all loyal to her. They tended to be playful and curious things, but always settled disputes quickly and amicably. The Outer Circle was composed of deities that did not pay homage to Tatiana or had duties requiring them to be away from the court. Those members are Coein, demigod of Kilmoes, Emantianzien, god of treants, Finella, demigoddess of Swanmaze, Nea Skyak, god of Faerie dragons and pseudo-dragons, and Skerrit, god of centaurs. Periodically, Queen Tatiana hosted a parliament of all Fae courts, these being the Seelie and Unseelie Fae, the Court of Coral, the Glooming Fae, the Green Fae, the Summer Fae, and the Winter Fae. This parliament was called the Court of Stars, where they were gathered to hold great feasts and discuss politics and important events. It was always held in the treetops of Senalise. Many would travel here from far and wide, some waiting years to be heard. Many have long forgotten why they were there in the first place. The relationship between the two sisters is unknown of. Even them being considered sisters is speculated. Despite their parallels, Queen Tatiana has never declared open war on the Queen of Air and Darkness, and instead grieves for her. The Feywilds is a place of immense beauty and joy, but also a place of great sadness and darkness, a place where everything seems almost perfectly poetical, everything a mirror of another aspect within the realms. Ever-changing and chaotic, it is a threat to any adventurer that wanders there uninvited or unwitting. Caution is advised. Reading this survival guide, mandatory. I've been Corvulus, and thank you for listening.